Let's see. Is this thing working? It's working. All right. Welcome back to Talking Time with Charlie, where I basically talk and rant about whatever. Sometimes music related, maybe other times not. Anyway, we need a little sign for Talk Time with Charlie. Maybe I'll put one here. Maybe I won't. If not, I'm just going to be waving my hands in the air like an idiot. All right. Here we go. So today I thought it'd be neat to answer a question that I get a lot, and that is, what do you do the day of a concert to prepare for the concert? And that's a good question. So let's just jump right into it. So there's two main types of concerts that I usually give. There's kind of the recitals, which is where I go somewhere and I sit and I play the piano by myself. There's a piano on the stage, and then there's however many people in the hall or room or whatever, and I play for an hour and a half or 2 hours, including intermission, right? That's a recital. And the second type of concert I oftentimes give is an orchestral concert, where basically the orchestra plays a piece at the beginning, then I come out and I play a half an hour long concerto as the soloist. The guest artist is the fancy pants way of saying it. And then they're accompanying me. And then there's an intermission, and they play like a big piece all by themselves again, like a symphony. Like the symphony plays a symphony. Like symphony, the group of people, plays a symphony, the type of piece of music. Not to be confusing or anything. All right. So, and how I prepare the day of really kind of depends on what type of those concerts I'm giving and how long I'm in whatever town or place or whatever that I'm going to be there. So for solo recitals, my goal generally, and this might sound weird, and it's just my preference. I like being at home. Traveling is fun, but it can be tiring, and I like being at home as much as possible. Because when you're traveling, you're usually by yourself. Stella doesn't get to come with me or anything most of the time. Sometimes she does, but not all the time. So I try to go do the concert and come home. So I try to be in a city as short a time as possible, right? So if I'm giving a recital, that can oftentimes be much, much shorter than if I'm giving a concerto concert with an orchestra. Because when I'm giving a solo recital, I can practice everything at home, and I just go there and play the piano. It's just me. I don't have to collaborate with really anyone, right? I'm playing by myself. I can play however fast, slow, or whatever as I want. When I'm playing with an orchestra, I'm playing with like 100 other people. So we're playing the same piece at the same time. So I practice my part at home, but we get there and then we have to collaborate with the musicians and the conductor and get everything so it sounds all hunky-dory, tidy and wonderful. Okay, so that requires rehearsing with them, and that usually getting 100 people together, it's a big deal. So you have to be there several days in advance, and usually you rehearse 1, 2, 3 times over the course of the several days leading up to the 1 or 2 concerts that you give with them. So that's a much longer trip generally. Excuse me. So if I'm giving a solo recital, I might come in, depending on how far it is from where I'm coming from. If it's a close drivable place, I just go there maybe just before the concert and try the piano out for about 5 minutes or so, just to get a feel of the piano. I want to see how the piano feels. Is it hard? Is it soft? Is it bright? Is it mellow, dull? Is it quiet? Is it loud? That kind of a thing. And also hear how the room sounds, the hall. Is it echoey? Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it dead? Is it alive? Whatever. And I've kind of gotten it down to about 5 minutes is okay for me. So if I just play, I can feel how the piano action is and all that stuff and hear how the thing sounds. I'm not the type of person who wants to go there and practice for 6 hours the day of a concert. I don't like practicing for 6 hours any day. And I don't. Maybe that's a topic for another video. But I like to just try the piano out. So, 5 minutes is usually pretty good, I think. I kind of learned to get it short, like that, as short as possible through, how I did a lot of those Midwest tours. Over the past 5, 6, 7 years, I've given like 4 Midwest tours where I drive 4 hours a day and give a concert. And the next day I drive 4 hours and give another concert in these small towns and big cities and everywhere, all over the country. And so I learned at that point, like it's a tour de force. It's like a marathon. You're gone for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of daily concerts, and you rarely have a day off And the day off you have, you might be driving 8 hours. So I learned that, sleep and keeping your, physical, mental health, all that stuff is important. And, especially in a marathon run like that. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time, adding in, traveling to the concert hall, trying it out, going back to the hotel, going back to the It'd be nice if I could just go there, try it out right before the concert, and then play, right? Saves a lot of time and energy. So I kind of learned how to get it down to like 5 minutes or so. So this is a long tangent. So I told you this is talking, ranting. So talk time with Charlie. We're coming back to, so on a solo recital, if it's relatively close where I'm like arriving the day of, like the morning of the concert, maybe it's a quick flight, maybe time zones work in my favor, then I might only try the piano out just before the concert for 5 minutes, just before the audience comes in. So, usually they open the doors to the halls like an hour maybe before, sometimes 30 minutes to an hour before the concert starts. They'll start letting people sit in their seats. I'll maybe play 5 minutes right before they open the doors, then I'll go back and whatever. Otherwise, it might be the morning of. Like if I'm spending the night, like say I arrive the day before or the night before, I might go in that morning, the morning of the concert, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, maybe 9, and practice, because I hadn't practiced that day then, right? And so I might practice for, an hour or two maybe, not really intense, but, just to feel the piano, feel the hall, things like that. And what do I do next? Well, this is the day of the concert now. So what I like to do before the concert is maybe around 11 o'clock. That's when Qdoba and Chipotle open. And what I love to do is get a big burrito bowl with I have tortilla on the side. Qdoba or Chipotle, they're both great. Get a bowl. They're huge, beans and rice. And I like chicken's good, steak's good. I mean, my nose is itchy today, sorry. So I get one of those bowls and I take it back to my hotel. And then I pig out. I eat like the whole thing. It's like 1,000 calories, maybe more. And I eat it. And it's really good. And then I go into a food coma. So I'm usually sitting there watching TV or some Korean drama or something. And I eat it and then I go into a food coma. And so that now we're at like noon, maybe 1, noon or 1. Then I'll go to sleep and I'll try to sleep I try to carve out like 3 or 4 hours where I'll take like a 3 or 4 hour long sleep. And sometimes you're not sleeping the whole time, but you're laying in bed, maybe you're using your phone a little bit and then you sleep. And so you sleep and I try to wake up, let's say the concert's at 7 and let's say I need to be at the concert hall at 6:30 or 6:45. I try to get there, I try to backwards plan. So if my concert's at 7, I want to be there as late as possible because I don't like sitting backstage at a concert hall because then you're just like twiddling your thumbs and getting nervous. So I try to be there as late as possible. Say I can be there at 6:45. And usually the hotel is pretty close to wherever I'm playing, so let's say I can leave at 6:30. And let's say I want to give myself like an hour and a half to get ready. And that's really generous, but you're just waking up from a 3 or 4 hour long nap, you're not gonna be super energized. So I'm getting let's say backwards planner at 6:30, so let's say I want to wake up at 5. And so then I'm sleeping from like 12 or 1, maybe 1 or 2, and I give myself till 5. And between 5 and 6:30, I'm getting ready, showering, making up my hair, getting my tuxedo ironed out or whatever. And that's basically it. When I wake up at 5, then I'll have like a half of an energy drink. One of those 5-hour energies is more likely the Costco branded ones. Then I'll go and get in the shower, take a long hot shower, just from the time I wake up, 5 o'clock in this example, I'll have the TV on, but I try to get in the zone. I'm kind of not jumping around, but I'm trying to focus and just be relaxed. Try not to get nervous, because being nervous for me, it's not great. You're always going to have a little bit of excitement, nervousness and excitement, and that kind of goes hand in hand, right? It's exciting. But I try not to be too nervous and get ready and then go to the concert hall and do it. And that's generally my day of the concert routine, and it's pretty consistent. Now, oftentimes it's not perfect, right? So sometimes, like if I'm playing with an orchestra, there'll be a concert rehearsal that morning. Not always, but sometimes. Or even worse, that afternoon. So then, you might have to be at the concert hall rehearsing with the orchestra at 1 or 2, and you have the concert at 7 or whatever. And so that really cuts down on my nap time. So nap time's important. So, that's an issue. So you just make do. The nap's going to have to be shorter or whatever. But I try to get a time where even if it's for a little bit, I can lay in bed with the blinds closed and I can just kind of close my eyes and at least try to sleep a little bit. And then you wake up and then it's almost like it's a new day. You're fresh. I'm not a night person. I'd much rather do stuff early in the morning than at night. And I'll stay up late. I'm like an old man. So, waking up at 5 or whatever is kind of like, okay, it's like almost like a new day. Maybe it's a psychological trick. I don't know. But anyway, that's basically it. That's kind of what a typical day on the day of a concert looks like for me. The most important thing is the food coma / nap. Now, sometimes there is no Chipotle or Qdoba. Then I'll try to get something else that I can just completely gorge myself with, in terms of food and pass out. Because, eating a lot of food helps you get sleepy, and then that helps you go into food coma, or that is a food coma, I guess. I don't know. But that's kind of what it's like. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of what my typical day on the road, the day of a concert, looks like. And it's pretty consistent. I've been able to do it most of the time, knock on wood. It works for me. Now, it might not work for other people. I know some other people, they might practice all day and or they'll practice right up until the doors open. And that's just not me. It doesn't work for me. But for other people, it does. So, good on them. If it works for you, great. If it works for you and doesn't hurt anyone else, do it, you do you. But anyway, yeah. So that's basically what I do the day of a concert. If you guys have any questions about, whatever, things like this, music related, non-music related, I'm going to try to, hopefully expand out, a lot of you know that, some of you don't, or a lot of you don't, some of you do, that, music, I love music, but I also love doing a ton of other stuff. I'm a crazy tech geek. I am really into cars, probably more than I should be. And I am, I love lawn work and things like that. It sounds weird. I'm telling you, I'm an old man. Everything from like fertilizing and aerating to, doing touch-up paint and, flipping out light switches and doing home projects. And so anyway, I might expand out and just talk about that stuff because it's part of what I like to do. And, why not? I like that motto. Why not? So, like and favorite and subscribe and all that stuff for the YouTube algorithm. Share this thing and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.